Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Travis Lemanski, the founder of Foundation, FNDN. Thanks for joining us, Travis.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Give us some background, Travis. This is a really interesting company in the tech clothing business, heated clothing. Give us an overview of how this got started.
Sure. So it's a funny story how I got into this. I've obviously been working in product development in the action sports industry for the past 18 years. And so I was primarily focused in paintball, and that was kind of where I got my start. And so I was making all kinds of paintball, protective and action apparel and all this good stuff.
Yeah, we should interrupt
So it
you
was like a
and
natural.
tell the audience that you are a professional paintball player.
Well, I've retired now, but I was for 15 years or something. So, but yeah, it's an interesting that's an interesting industry in itself.
Tell us how you moved from paintball to heated clothing.
Um, so obviously I've always been interested in sewn goods and technical apparel, and paintball, believe it or not, does have some pretty technical apparel with themselves. They incorporate a lot of, protective equipment and breathable and thermal foams, padding, and all this stuff. So honestly, when as wearable tech sort of evolved, I was always interested in looking at getting into it. One of the easiest barriers of entry is being able to heat clothing, and so that's how I got into Foundation. We found a 4-letter domain, FNDN, which is kind of an acronym for Foundation, and that's how I got started.
And you're on the market with some really beautifully styled and very functional garments. Tell us about some of the highlights here that you have in the lineup.
Sure. So we started with with like heated gloves. I mean, obviously people have all experienced, whether they're skiing or just, shoveling snow or being outside, whatever, you have cold hands. Basically after we had some success with gloves and some scarves, then we sort of ventured into apparel where we've done some heated vests and heated jackets, and that's been super successful for us. And now we've gone another direction, which is incorporating heated base layers. So we have a whole line of heated base layers that's been, pretty much our bread and butter this winter. It was very successful, and we have a whole new line of that coming for this upcoming season.
And this time of year, early spring, can be just as important. I guess people want to get outdoors, and sometimes the weather doesn't always cooperate.
Exactly. So, what we found with apparel is you can kind of extend your season where we used to be when we were, simply gloves or something like that. You're strictly winter, but when you have a heated down vest or you have a heated base layer, that works great in the spring and fall. So kind of extends our season a little bit.
You have some competition in this space. What do you feel sets your products apart?
I think that we're constantly innovating, and we pay attention to market trends. We try to style the stuff up so it doesn't, we want the user to kind of, enjoy what they're wearing and feel cool about the look and everything like that. So we pay attention to really like not just the function of the product, but also, try to make it look really, really nice.
One of the latest garments that you have is a soft shell jacket, which really can be a great thing for early spring here. Tell us about that.
Sure. And so there is a couple companies that have, done heated soft shells. We pay special attention to our materials. We make sure it's weather resistant. We try to be innovative, so we've added a feature where, we have a button that controls the chest, so you can have heat on the front and the back. So there's a secondary button where it has like those little like thumb loop handcuffs. We have heated like hand warmers as well. So that's something that no other company is doing right now.
And the battery technology that you've opted to use in this particular garment, it's proprietary, but you give people options. Tell us about your strategy when it comes to batteries, because that's a really important thing for consumers to consider here.
Right, right. So batteries obviously is one of the most expensive components. It is the one component that does wear out over time. So if you can give the user some different options, that's really what our goal is. So we created this BEGO system, which is small individual cells that could be used in our gloves or our socks where you need a small footprint for a battery. But then if you chain 2 or 3 of them together, you can power the coats and some of the bigger garments and get the long lasting life. And because they're all kind of chained together, they flex and it moves a little bit better. We also are aware that people have, tool batteries and there's tool companies that sell these type of things too. So we made our garments backwards compatible. So they will fit with most of the, tool batteries. There's actually a USB converter so we can work backwards if it's like at least QC 2.0 or higher on the battery pack, we can use those little power banks too.
Yeah, and those are really popular and quite inexpensive. But as you were saying, you have to be able to use one that's going to give you enough power to work, right?
That's right. Yeah. So QC 2.0, which is the Qualcomm protocol, that gives us the constant power output that we need to power our garments, because ours takes a little bit more juice simply because we do offer multiple heating zones, the hands, the front, the back, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, so that's how we're managing our battery strategy.
And some of your garments, some of your jackets, for instance, or vests, are using pretty much standard power packs, right?
Right. So if it's applicable, for example, in our Pro vest, we'll go right to the power bank, and then using that, you can charge your cell phone right alongside of the power bank. And a lot of users find that super useful because they're heating their vest at the same time as they're charging their mobile phone or device.
Tell us about some of the other details, the workmanship that you put into this.
Like we try to be as versatile and durable as possible. I mean, something that would kill a startup small business is returns. So we spend the extra time to sort of make our garments really durable. We try to use the best materials, the best, if you've seen a lot of the Polar Tech fills and the 3M and all this stuff, we try to use the best stuff available so that people are not only happy with it, but they last.
Interesting. And it's a fine line, I guess, between deciding on the materials you're going to use, the batteries you're going to use, and being able to come in at a price that you feel you need to come in at for consumers to purchase.
Right. And we're not going to be the cheapest guy on the block, and that's never our goal. But we do want to be, the most functional and the best. We want to be able to give the customer we don't want them to feel like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive, we can't afford it. But at the same time, we have to be able to stand behind our product and have something that, we know is going to last and hold up to what they're using it for.
Where does pricing begin?
I guess it depends on the garment. Heated footwear starts around $99, which is our heated socks. Our gloves is about the same. We go all the way from 99 to 180, depending on the type of gloves, and if it's waterproof or it has touchscreen capabilities and all of those features. And then our jackets, I think our jackets start around, like a heated sweatshirt might be $160, and I think our heated soft shells are about $250 right now.
For more information and to purchase, where do we go?
You go to FNDN.com.
Again, it's FNDN.com. Travis Lemanski, thanks for taking the time with us.
All right, thank you.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love Crane.